Morning, everybody. It's Monday, third day of filming with this. I still don't feel great, but things wait on nobody, so we're gonna see if we can blow some of this dirt and stuff off of this engine. I've put paper towels down in the holes where the fuel line goes. Keep it out of there. Put this over here out of the way. Intake as well. Hope that comes off with the exhaust manifold there, and I don't have to break it loose and pull. Forgot to spray it, just in case I have to do that. Last video got hit by YouTube for copyright. So, as you can tell, there's no music playing in the background. Finding random things like this makes me think at some point the motor's been empty. Mess. But yeah. YouTube didn't like me playing music. Now, I've had other videos, but I've had the radio playing, and they didn't fit status. I don't know if it's just certain artists that triggered it, because there were only like 5 songs out of the whole day that seemed to trigger the copyright. Each one of them was a band where every single member is dead, and I can't say dead. No longer with us. nothing but the recording label that's controlling copyright. So, yeah, just big wigs wanting to make money off of nothing. The thing about it is I was playing music off of the actual app. The YouTube app. Meaning that I paid for the app to be able to listen to music. But they were concerned because it was playing and you could barely hear it. And oh no, I'm trying to make money off of the music playing in the background. No, I'm not. I don't give a rat's patootie about that. It was in the background to keep me from being bored out of a freaking mind. So, now, why am I putting the plug wires back on the cap? That way they stay in order. When I put them back on, normally they're laying in this bracket like this is, and it holds them in order, and you just put them on this side, and the bracket's broke. But put them back on there, so when I put it back on, all I have to do is lay them up here and stick them back on. Because the cap is numbered. And normally you would put new plugs and wires and all on an engine you were rebuilding. These are not that old. I have replaced them. It sucks over here without any music. I did bring my earbuds with me. I'll probably put them in a minute. That way. Break loose. Now, the last video run real long. I'm trying to figure out a way to shorten that. Which I could stop the video while I'm doing stuff like this. But that requires me walking back and forth to the camera, which in turn would add time to it. So do I sacrifice time doing the job? If you're wondering what I'm doing here, I'm cutting little zip ties that I had to put on there to keep the wires where they go in the little clips, because all the clips are broke. problems with this distributor cap getting moisture in it. You can see I got corrosion down in there. That's corroded. These are rusted. It's part of the problem I've had with this one the whole time. I need to make sure that's turned. I'll pause you. I'll try to keep this from not getting too long. Okay. Pop the plugs out. I'm sort of purposely dodging, snatching the exhaust manifolds off because I'm expecting bolts to break. I've already got 3 to deal with. If I sound a little funny, I have my earbud in because, as I said, it works better with music player. And I'm not dealing with what I'm dealing with right now of a YouTube video having to go through and remove the music. It's burning good and clean. Plugs are still in good shape. Like I said, I wasn't having a problem with this engine running wise. Reading the color on spark plugs is almost a lost art. Depending on the color, depends on how your engine's burning. All of these look really good. All right, these engines have, I'll get you where you can see. You don't have timing adjustments. I'm toting the cameraman around. So what I've done, let me just take you out of the stand. I have it on number 1, top dead center. Right here on the harmonic balancer is your timing mark, and right there, it's a little bit dark, but that is the timing mark on the timing chain cover right there. You line those up, make sure number 1 piston is up. Come around here, this is a distributor cap, and as I said, focus, they're numbered 1, 7, 3, 5, and then you got 8, 2, 4, 6. All right, so that's, you can see the traces go across. That's how you get your firing order. All right, come back here. You see where number 1's at? Right there. And if you line this up, this is pointed at number 1. Now, I've had problems with this before. This is one of the issues this truck had when I first got it. It ran really, really bad. This distributor cap would not line up. As you can see, I have a paint mark right here to line this up with. And then this goes to there. Now, back here, like I said, I have done this before. There is a paint mark right here, and that lines up with this. Now I'm going a step further. I'm fixing to take a chisel and punch that so that I can line it back up when I put it back in. Get all this stuff lined back up. Man, no, I'm gonna put a mark right there. Now, why is all of this important? It's important because when you put it back together, you have to time it. There we go. Chisel mark. Everything aligned right back up now. So, why do I do a chisel mark instead of just painting it? Because I'm going to wash this with gas to clean it up. Now, that being said, come straight off and put a line right here. That is to line this up with. All this is because I'm going to have the distributor out. And this allows me to get everything back in line. There is a little divot down here in the distributor, and that's probably what that's for. But when you drop this in, get everything back where it goes, and you don't have issues. Like I said, you don't time this motor the way you do the old ones with timing light. It's set to 0 and the computer adjusts everything. So this is how you get it set to 0 without having to guess at it, without having to move stuff. You drop it back in, you line all your marks back up, and she's done. So this is very, very important, especially if you ever have to replace the distributor in one. Mark this stuff. Now, it's a little bit harder when the motor's in the truck and you're dropping a new distributor in. There used to be a mark. It used to be a mark on the firewall that lined up something back here for when I was messing with it. But yeah, that's it. And it's really, really close to this. There's a flat edge on the front of the distributor. It's really close to that being lined up with the flat edge on the back of the upper intake. But it's not perfect, at least not on this one. Some other ones may be. I think you have like a 3-degree margin of error that you can run them in and they'll be perfectly fine. But I had a lot of problems with this engine when I first got it, trying to get it to run right. That was the reason I got it as cheap as I did. And it ended up being right here. So I'm gonna gather up some more tools, move some stuff, and probably gonna lose my voice today from the way it sounds. But let's start stripping. All right, let's see what we can get off. Start with the one I'm worried about breaking loose. That is exactly what I was expecting. Yep, that's not gonna come out. So, what's the chances of breaking loose here? Slim to none. Size we don't have. Now I have a problem. All right, and let's braid it loose here. With this method, put the wrench on it. Oh, don't do this to your wrenches. It broke loose. For the most part. Great. Let's see if I can get some lube in it. Rotten. Okay. That piece broke loose. It's not where I wanted to break loose. It broke loose here. All right. I really would have rather been able to take this off the top. This is part of the EGR system. truck still, as it still functions, I'll leave it on there. Okay. So I'd like to take it loose here, but that's not coming loose. I'll keep spraying that, but I ain't having any luck. Stripped her out, and you're going to see when I pull this out, this turns because the gear on the end of it is spiral cut. That's not right. It's not straight cut. I forgot what they call it. Keep her out. You know, I didn't grind on that. See what I mean when it turns. Here's how the gears are. Now, the factory distributors are plastic. Oh, I don't remember where I ground this at. It doesn't matter. Yeah, let me set this over the side. Well, let's see how many of these break. Breaking loose, that's a good sign. than expected. Okay. Yep. Broke off right in there. That's gonna be fun to get those out. Surprisingly, it wasn't leaking. So it doesn't come off. Okay. That off. It's a 10. I gotta find tools. I have a socket that has went AWOL. Actually, I don't have to take that off. Okay. Really wish I could put some of the old school valve covers on this engine and had ship labor across the top of them. But when they went to the newer engines, they went to this style valve cover. You can't do that. So we may get creative and do something weird here. I don't know. I don't like plain engines when you put them back together. She is nice and clean. Perfectly. You can't actually reuse these. Hopefully the rebuild kit I've got has some good ones in it. Come on, come loose. There we go. Now, this right here proves that this has been into before somewhere. I think I had to put the spider in this engine as well, so I took that valve cover off. That's the reason it's got two different valve cover gaskets on it. These look factory. I'm laying everything out over here as it comes off the engine. I really would like to have this off, but it is what it is. So, it's hard to get to that bolt, but I can get to it. Now the intake gaskets. Yeah, let's talk about the intake gaskets. Intake gaskets on these trucks, these engines, and this includes the 4.3. When they first come out, were plastic with a O-ring gasket kind of in them, and they failed. Yeah, they pretty much failed all the time. So it would start putting coolant into one of the cylinders, or most of the time they leaked out right back here. And GM didn't have a fix for it to begin with, but later they updated it and put metal crush washers, I guess is what you'd call them, for lack of a better term, in the gasket, so that when you tightened down, you did not crush that plastic gasket and cause the leak. You could tighten down against that metal insert. And these things tighten to like something like 15 foot-pounds. It's really, really light. As you see, I'm taking it off with a 3/8 drive ratchet. They're not tight. And the first one we ever did, we were used to doing cast iron. So, 15 foot-pounds wasn't enough. Well, my dad, funny on him, said it's just not enough, so he decided he'd give him a little bit more. And he did. And he broke his whole ear right across there on the front side off. And this was on one of our own trucks. So we found a place, machine shop, that dealt with it quite often. And they cleaned it up, welded it back on, machined it back down flat, and that truck is still running around with that intake on it. I mean, as you see, they're not tight. There's only 8 bolts holding that intake on. Now let's see if she'll pop loose fairly easy. There's a pry point on here somewhere. As I thought it was. I do have a water hose up here. I got to break loose, but it's loose. Get off. I don't want to take that off. More than one way to skin a cat. What's going on up here, I know y'all can't see it, is the clamp was turned so that the water pump pulley was in the way to get it off. There we go. Should come off. One intake. Of course, dirt went down in there. Huh. We got some buildup in here. She's a little gunky. It's a Velcro gasket. And that is black silicone, so that is not. It's not what should have been in here. So this truck has definitely had, yeah, see, somebody put silicone around the gasket, but it would blow out right here. These metal rings, they blow out and cause it to leak out the back. So, let me pop these off, take all the lifters out of it, or take all the rocker arms and push rods, and then we'll lay them over there, snatch the heads off, and then we'll, I'm gonna have to take a break, guys. This cold is getting me. But let me take a break. We'll snatch this off and see what the cylinders look like. All right, let's snatch these off. I'm just using the impact to make this go faster. And I'm laying everything out over here on the floor, which you'll see later, exactly how the engine is sitting on this engine stand. Left on the left, right on the right, front to rear. So as I take these off, I'm gonna lay them out over there on a piece of cardboard, exactly how they're in here. And as I clean them, I'll do the same thing. I'll do it in sections. Now, it's pretty grungy. I've seen worse. And do you have to be this meticulous? No. It's just the way that I was taught to do it. Now, if you see this dirt in here, it's what I was trying to prevent by blowing everything off this morning. I just didn't manage to get it all out. But I'll clean all that up when I wash everything. Okay. Get this off next, get it out of the way. I gotta get the water pump off. We'll snatch the heads. I gotta drain the oil out of it, I hadn't done that. Matter of fact, I'm probably gonna go ahead and do that now. While the oil's draining out of it, I'll finish taking it apart. But let me do this. Let y'all look inside. You can see we got some corrosion in there. Nothing. This is where I was talking about it would break through. These are the metal inserts and the gaskets on these Vortex. As you can see, it looks like it was leaking a little coolant into that one at some point. These ports look good. I got a little gooiness down in here I got to get out. And but everything looks real good. Me and this tripod it doesn't like to stay where it needs to. Huh. This is why y'all end up staying in this mode. All right, I'm gonna pause you again. Oil out. This pickle. There's enough STP and other things in there that I was running to try to keep this thing going. That's gonna take a while to drain. So let's figure out what to do with this right here. 10. One dipstick tube. Go ahead and take this off too. Yeah, be easier to do. I'm gonna leave this on there because it's not affecting anything that I'm gonna actually have to do. So, next thing, let's get the water pump off. Make a big old mess down there. Must be warming up outside because got a small fire built over here. And it's getting warm. One waterfall. It oil so thick, floor right. Soak it up. Now, you go ahead and put the oil plug back in it and tighten it back up, because if you don't, you will end up forgetting about it. Put the whole thing back together, pour oil in it, have it back in the truck, and you'll have a leak. So, I'm gonna take a break, eat something, and come back, snatch the heads off. You know, here's a question. YouTube doesn't like letting me use that's not normal. Why is there coolant coming out of the... Are those doing the water check? Running out of air pressure. Let's turn the noisy compressor back on. I guess I'm not. Things have gotten turned down. That's interesting. To be perfectly honest, I've never seen that. Well, I know how to fix that. I'm over here and pull this plug out and drain the block. It's not 14. It's a 9/16. I bet that is a carryover. I thought I had a 9/16 over here. There we go. I'm about to make a mess. I was truly not expecting water to be there. Now, that's not draining the other side, but should get most of it out. Hello. Got a phone call while I was doing that. Went ahead and pulled the knock sensor out and drained this side of the block too. Just so I don't have to deal with a whole bunch of water, or I should say coolant. Now, we'll have a bunch of coolant getting down in cylinders. I'm gonna pop the head off. Still recording you. Nope. Dealing with a gasket stuck. There we go. Oh yeah, she's gonna take a rebuild real easy. There ain't even no wear in the cylinders. Everything looks good. Snatch the other side off. The advancements in oil make this so much better because back in the day, had air cleaner technology too. Way back, you would have had enough wear in here to have a ring groove. And there's nothing. I can't even catch a fingernail in it. That's just some carbon at the top of the cylinders. So I can run a hone down that, take the glazing off of it, and she'll be ready to put rings back in. What did I do with the, there it is. Let's see what we can show you. All right, you can see, focus. Phones don't focus on this very good. This is where the rings go. And there's nothing, like this is a carbon ring here. That comes off, there's nothing. I can kind of feel it in that one, just a little. Nothing in that one. Very little wear. And that actually might just come off with the carbon, but Nothing a home won't take care of. So everything's good. She's gonna take a rebuild real good. I'm gonna snatch the lifters out now. We'll roll her over, and I'm gonna take all this off, but I'm gonna go ahead and get the I'm gonna go ahead and get that off. I gotta have something to spin it with, so I may just go ahead and leave that on for the time being. Go ahead and get the pistons out of it too. All right. Let's get the lifters out now. This is the, what you call it, spring, holds the lifters down. These are the guides that keep them from rotating, because this has roller lifters in it. And, like I said, I try to keep all of this exactly how it comes out. Now, if I was using all new parts, new cam and all that, it wouldn't be quite as important. But, going back with the cam, which I'm not pulling out. Well, I might pull it out. I guess it will, because I got to clean everything. But doing it this way, I'm putting the lifters back exactly where they came from, on the same lobe. like I said, I will clean these one at a time when I clean them, so I can put them right back where they came from. Do you have to be this meticulous? Probably not. But I am being this meticulous. Okay. That is everything on top end of the engine. Now we make a drippy mess and flip it over. I'm just going to clean this mess up when I'm done. Rod out of the oil pump. Now, these have the spot for the manual fuel pump, but I'm assuming that it's not drilled out. And there's the rest of the mess. I gotta get these things here out of the way. Actually, I think I can leave them instead of fooling with taking them out of the way. Making a severe mess, but I'll clean it up. All of those are, I'm going to take this off. This one off at least, because I can't get the oil pan out. I think I can leave the crank position sensor in the timing cover, bring it off with it. What a mess. This was one greasy motor. I should say engine, because motor is electric. Engine is gas powered or something like that. So I'm gonna pause y'all for a second and we'll get that off. All right, I cheated a little bit and went ahead and broke these loose. It has 413 millimeter nuts on it, one on each corner. Everything else is 10s. Yeah, I could probably use something electric, you know, zip, zip, zip. We're done. But you know, This doesn't take just a second. And this is what was used before we had electric stuff. Speed up the process. And there's the phone again. Hello. Yellow. Alright. I'm going to use this as a reference. There's a stud right here. Third hole from the front on the passenger side. All the rest of them had bolts in them, except for it. So. There's a screwdriver over here somewhere, right there. Okay. And they use these things to keep from deforming the oil pan, and it helps keep it from leaking. Well, let's see what she looks like on the bottom end. Whole pan looks pretty good. This I don't know if you can see it. It's a copper looking stuff. Huh. There's some plastic in here. I wonder where that came from. It looks like, I don't know what that is, to be honest. It's always nice when you find stuff like that laying in the bottom of the engine. Something else, what's that? Silicone. Huh. Interesting. Maybe whatever that plastic is will be in the everything looks really, really good. And this is a 4-bolt main engine like I thought it was. And I'll explain that a little bit more in just a second. There's a 4-bolt and a 2-bolt main Chevy 350 engine. And this is a 4-bolt. This is a heavier duty application, and I was expecting it to have a 4-bolt, which is one reason that I haven't been able to find one to replace this block. Now, I was talking to you earlier in this on the other video about it being cracked where the starter goes. It's cracked on this ear right here. And that right there lets the starter walk. It sits right here, and it lets it walk away from the ring gear. So I've done all sorts of stuff in here to try to tighten that up. There's aluminum shim in there that I made out of a Coke can to try to keep it from happening. The end result was that brace to lock that starter in so it couldn't move. I'm gonna get the splash pan here off, get the oil pump taken off, and we'll start pulling the pistons out of this thing. I may move over there to do this part because I want to lay them out as they come, and I won't It's going to be different because I flipped the engine than everything else I have laid over there. So we will probably move to a different spot. I'm going to take a quick break, figure out what size tools I need to get this off, and I'll be back. Near rag. All right. Now, why is there a 4-bolt and a 2-bolt main engine strength? And I have heard some say that the 2-bolt is just as strong as the 4-bolt. I can't argue that point. I know guys that have used 2-bolt for racing applications and they said there's no issue with it. But I know back in the older days there was a pretty significant difference. Has a different size. Of course it's a different size. There we go. Ooh, that is tight. Anyway, when they were dirt track racing around, 70s, 80s was big, the 4-bolt was what you wanted because you had more strength in the bottom end to take horsepower. There we go. I'm replacing that oil pump because it's weak. Anytime you rebuild one, you need to replace the oil pump. But here is the difference. Right here. Your main caps that hold the 3-center cap journals in. You have 4 bolts. 2-bolt, there will only be 2, like your end caps on there. This is a stronger built engine for a heavy duty application like a 3500. They used to put them in big cars. Higher horsepower applications would have the 4 bolts in them. Your 1500s are going to have 2 bolts. I've never seen a 4 bolt in one of those. Some of the Suburbans could possibly have the 4 bolts. But that is the explanation that I can give you for the difference. So we're gonna move. I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna start taking all the pistons out and laying them out as they come out, and then we'll finish stripping the rest of the engine. Technically, for the problem that I'm having, I don't have to go any further than taking these caps off, putting new bearings in it, putting new oil pump in it, and putting it back together. It would be fine. It doesn't burn oil. It's not smoking. It would be perfectly fine to do that. And had this not been a 4-wheel drive, I probably would have just took the oil pan off and done all that with it in the truck. But you can't get the oil pan off because of the way it's made under there, the front differential. So it had to come out. If you're gonna pull it out, you might as well do everything right. Go ahead and put new rings in it and just freshen the whole engine up. And I can see the bottom of the cylinders in here. Everything looks good. I got oil sitting in the pistons from flipping it over, but everything looks really, really good. So I'm gonna cut you off and probably move over there and finish taking this apart. Alright, I changed my mind. I'm just going to do it right here instead of making another mess over there. So, now, something I need to do here before I get too far into this is I need to stamp these because this engine's never been into, so connection rods have never been stamped. Let me pause you again and find my punches. All right, these are really old. This is probably came from my grandfather. I don't know. Anyway, they're punches with numbers on them. And this is all it is to it. You punch through the cap, top and bottom, so that you put numbers on it, so that you know which one goes where. And you do it to the outside, so that when you put them back in, it tells you which way the caps go. So, and on Chevrolet, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. On Fords, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you have to kind of pay attention to that. Now, to be perfectly honest, it probably doesn't matter how you number them as long as you number them in order, so you can put them back in that order. But for the next person, they need to be done right. Helps if you hold it straight. If you hit them good the first time, it only takes one hit. Okay, now they are labeled. You put the antique tools up. I do have a modern set of these in my truck, but use a legacy tool. Now, still haven't figured out which one has slack in it. Of course, I've loosened that one. Now I don't know. Now, I got kind of picked at the last time I did this on an engine. By using my hand as a hammer and using this hammer to knock pistons out. It's the way it's always been done here. Yeah, she was ready for a rebuild, that's for sure. See if I can get this in the frame here. You can see they weren't completely shot, but they were getting there. Crank is smooth. See, this is where you have to hit it. Like I said, the numbers let you put it back like it's supposed to be. Put the nuts back on it. And we're going to take this over and lay it on the floor. Just like this. Yeah, that old oil ring's pretty good and stuck. Everything looks good. It's a little bit grungy. Like I said, she was getting there. important to keep these in there? No. But I am, just because. Crank could stand to be polished. But then we're getting into money. And as I said, doing this on a budget because cracked block, not worth fixing. Now see, this right here was bad. The rings had lined up. I was losing compression on this cylinder. still haven't found a definite one that says this one was knocking. But that's okay. Now, feel free to fast forward some, because I got a couple more of these to do, if you're still watching. If you're still watching this, I appreciate it. And if y'all would like and share, that's how this gets out. That's how YouTube works. Come on. There we go. I can't get new followers, get out to people, other than what YouTube's going to send them to. Unless I do like and share. And that in there is pretty worn. It's not bad, but it's worn. So. If you're wondering where I'm going when I go over there, I'm dumping oil out of this one. And there wasn't too good. Shouldn't have a lot left in her, that's for sure, before this become a real problem. Good thing is, there's no scarring on the crank. So, good there. Two more and we can break for lunch. Then we can start cleaning everything. Man, that's sharp. Pretty sure I'm gonna bleed from that one. Yep, no doubt. Man, that edge is sharp. Y'all have heard me reference my father in these videos. He was a ASE certified mechanic for Chevrolet Oldsmobile, 70s, 80s, 90s, probably further back than that. I believe we found our one that was knocking. Anyway, I learned all this from him. And funny thing is, he told me never to become a mechanic. And I didn't for quite a while, until I ended up one for heavy equipment. And I told him once, I said, Dad, I really wish I would have never listened to you, because I enjoy this. Now granted, he was automotive, and the automotive world has become, it's become really technical, and he saw that coming, and that's why he told me not to get in it. He knew things in the automotive world were going to get really, really hard to work on for independents. And I can respect that, because to be perfectly honest, I despise working on cars. But the heavy equipment world is still a fairly enjoyable trade, but it has its times. And I've been a fleet mechanic for the last 7-ish years, and cam looks good down there, and I enjoy it. I really do. I'm gonna break for lunch. Come back, we'll take all the stuff off the front, get the timing set off of it, pull the I don't even think I've got to pull the cam out. I may pull it out, but I don't think I'm going to. There's no point. I'm not replacing the bearings in it. I will have to put a new timing set on it. I may pull it out so I can wash this block a little bit better. Regardless, I'm gonna go get some food and come back, finish stripping this, and we'll start cleaning. I gotta get some gas while I'm out too. Put it in here and wash this thing off. So, let me give y'all a pause and I'll be back. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be able to stay here doing this today. Thing cold is starting to make me cough. Kind of have a feeling I got a fever. 68 degrees in here. I'm cold. Start the fire a little bit. And, trying to, I want to get this finished. Get it completely taken apart. And I'll call it a day, come back tomorrow and start cleaning, painting. So I'm taking the motor mounts off so I can clean the block up real good and paint. I've got to get a couple of bolts off back there, get that rear main seal off. I think. Y'all may be wondering, why are you pushing to get this done? I have time limit. Well, I don't really have a time limit. If I don't get done with this, it's just going to take a lot longer. Because I'm out right now for the holidays. And it's the perfect time to do this. So, you know, I'm trying to get it done. How tight you think the main cups are? Before I do that, I'm going to take this off. Left to do that. Oh, bigger. y'all for a second. Alright, I got the puller on. No, you're not supposed to do this. Don't do what I do. Never put an impact on a puller. It's a 10 if I can find it. Do y'all see where I put it? Should be laying right here. It's a 12. Okay. Alright, I found it. Laying right in front of me. And there's a timing gear. Looks like it's made on it. Yeah, I'd say she had some slack in her. Yep. Should come right off. I may not. The cam bolt's loose. Let's see if they'll break loose. Yep. That has to come off. Let's see if it'll just pop off there. Nope. I guess I gotta pull it. Dead blow camera. Tone ring. I might have to pull that, but I can at least get the timing set off. Oh, it should come off. Do not do what I do. I don't see anything moving. Yeah, I'll probably have to pull that. I'll deal with that later. Okay, let me move y'all back around. We're gonna finish taking this apart real quick. I'm not sure. I think I gotta take this out. One, two. That's nice, that is loose already. At least they all wouldn't loose. I thought I had a 10 over here. That is not a 10, that is an 8. Well, so that in there is 9, that's an 11. I don't have an 8. That's an 8. That's a 9. For reference, a 9mm is a 3/8, or they'll interchange at least. Let's bring some wood in here more. 7/16, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever. How did I know that was going to be the case? You can't get that off with it on the engine stand, but it will come off with the crank now. I could do it that way, but why? Yeah. There's that. There we go. Should have been turned. I ain't gonna lie. She was really, really close to coming apart. seen worse, but it should have been turned. And you can't see what I'm doing it up. It's the keeper for the cam. I'm taking off. I wasn't going to take it out, but anyway, all it is that right there. It holds the cam in. Ease it out through the cam bearings, little at a time. It looks good. Cam bushes look good. All right, so there she is. Let me clean my hands up and I'll give you a tour. All right, I'm gonna clean a few things before I give up today. anything to clean with. Just regular old non-ethanol gas. Nothing special. Doesn't do as good a job as it used to. I'll take this outside and scrape some of this goop off. Then come back and clean it. Alright. I'm going to show you how I'm going to clean this. And I'm not going to pour it out every single piece of this engine that gets cleaned. It's time consuming. Pretty self-explanatory. Basically just getting all this old oily mess off of here. If we're going to repaint this engine, you don't want this mess on there. Don't worry, I'm not in a massively enclosed place with all these fumes. Shop is drafty. Doors open. And besides, gas doesn't go off the type of fumes that it used to. What is it we say? Don't do this. It's not, I do it this way. Doesn't mean you should do it this way. Doesn't mean it's right. It works. What I have. And if you had an industrial parts washer, I guess you could wash it from that. I don't have it. What I have is a cut-off drum. I'm 83. And if you're wondering, what's he gonna do with the leftover? There's a fire ant mound out back. That's gonna get it. Oh, this cool with fire ants. If you say that, you've never met a fire ant. There is no death to a fire ant that's too cruel, kind of like a red mouse. If you haven't ever seen the guys that melt aluminum and copper and then pour it into a fire ant mound and pull out the tunnel system when it's hardened, you're missing out. All right. There it is. Yeah, I can take some time to get some more of this off, but I'm not that concerned with it. And I gotta do valve cover, heads, everything. It'll all get washed like that. My cameraman took a nap over here. But anyway, I'm gonna do a few more. Go ahead and get the valve covers. Might do the rocker arms. A few things done. And come over tomorrow and work on the block. So, I'm not gonna bore y'all with any of the cleaning because that's what it's gonna be. Me sitting here scrubbing. And that's very boring. So I will see y'all after everything's clean and I start to put it all back together. So see y'all then.